Welcome to News9 Live, and you are watching On Point with me. In this edition, we will discuss the lifting of the ban on government employees from taking part in RSS activities and the political row that has erupted over the order. The Ministry of Personnel issued an order that has lifted the ban on the government employees participating in the activities of the RSS. The centre's decision to lift the 1966 ban has resulted in a political war of words between opposition leaders and Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP welcomed the order and termed the old order banning government servants from participating in RSS activities as unconstitutional. Amit Malviya, the BJP IT cell head, wrote, the unconstitutional order issued 58 years ago in 1966 imposing a ban on the government employees taking part in the activities of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh has been withdrawn by the Modi government. The original order shouldn't have been passed in the first place. The ban was imposed because on 7 November 1966, there was a massive anti-cow slaughter protest at the parliament. RSS Jan Sangh mobilized support in lakhs. Many died in police firing. On 30th November 1966, shaken by the RSS Jan Sangh cloud, Indira Gandhi banned government staff from joining the RSS. Now let us listen to what Piyush Goyal had to say.
समझता हूं विपक्ष को सिर्फ तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति में दिलचस्पी रहती है। उनके लिए कोई विशेष समुदाय के लिए अलग मापदंड रहते हैं और हिंदू समाज के खिलाफ उनका रवैया बड़ा नकारात्मक रहता है। मुझे लगता है राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ और उसका हर स्वयंसेवक पूरी तरीके से पूरे निष्ठा के साथ देश की चिंता करता है और ऐसे सामाजिक संस्थाओं के में कोई भी भाग ले उसका हम स्वागत करते हैं।
राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ गत 99 वर्षों से सतत राष्ट्र पुनर्निर्माण के विभिन्न कार्यों में और समाज सेवा के जितने भी कार्य उसमें संलग्न है। राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा हो, एकता का विषय हो, देश की अखंडता का विषय हो या प्राकृतिक आपदा के समय हो, ऐसे सभी समय पर पूरे समाज को साथ में लेकर संघ जो है समय समय पर कार्यरत रहता है और ऐसे सभी कार्यों का विभिन्न प्रकार के समाज के जो प्रमुख लोग हैं उन्होंने ऐसे कार्य की सराहना भी की है और उन्होंने संघ के योगदान को महत्वपूर्ण भी बताया है। परंतु अपने राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के चलते तत्कालीन सरकार ने शासकीय कर्मचारियों को संघ के कार्य में भाग लेने के लिए पाबंदी लगाई गई थी, जो एकदम निराधार थी, जिसका कोई आधार नहीं था। परंतु अब वर्तमान शासन ने जो ये पाबंदी हटाने का निर्णय लिया है वो समुचित है और भारत की लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था को पुष्ट करने वाला है।
वो पहले वाला आदेश तो आना ही नहीं चाहिए था।
इमरजेंसी के समय में भी
राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ सांस्कृतिक संगठन है, देशभक्तों का संगठन है, चरित्र निर्माण करने वालों का है। अदालत में सिद्ध हुआ है। 1992 में जब ढांचा गिरा तो नरसिंह राव की सरकार ने संघ पर प्रतिबंध लगाया। वो प्रतिबंध ट्राइब्यूनल के सामने गया। 6 महीने सुनवाई हुई। सुनवाई करने के बाद जज ने कहा प्रतिबंध का कोई कारण नहीं है, हम इस प्रतिबंध को निरस्त करते हैं। तो फिर सरकारी कर्मचारी क्यों इसमें भाग नहीं ले सकते? और 1948 से लेके अब तक कांग्रेस को हिंदुओं के विरोध में बोलना, हिंदू संस्कृति को बुरा मानना, हिंदू परंपरा और इतिहास का अपमान करना, उसी का ये कदम था। मुझे प्रसन्नता है कि आज इसका निवारण हो गया है।
Opposition, on the other hand, has come down heavily on the government and has accused the government of putting ideology above national interest. I will now play out the bite of Asaduddin Owaisi, Shashi Tharoor, K.C. Venugopal and Priyanka Chaturvedi of Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's party. Venugopal represents Congress, Shashi also Congress, and Owaisi, I would say, a minority sentiment. Let's listen to all the shades of opinion.
बीजेपी की एनडीए की सरकार ये परमिट कर रही है कि गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स आरएसएस के एक्टिविटीज़ में हिस्सा ले सकते हैं। तो ये मैं समझता हूँ ये बिल्कुल गलत है, क्योंकि आरएसएस का जो मेंबर का ओथ होता है, पहले तो मराठी में था, बाद में उन्होंने उसको संस्कृत में किया, फिर थोड़ा अमेंडमेंट्स किए। वो ओथ आपको कहता है कि वो भारत की डाइवर्सिटी को, प्लुरलिज्म को नहीं मानते, वो तो हिंदू राष्ट्र के ऊपर कसम खाते हैं। तो जो हिंदू राष्ट्र के ऊपर कसम खाता वो तो इंडियन नेशनलिज्म के खिलाफ बात कर रहा है। और मेरा मानना यह है कि जितने कल्चरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है उनको परमिट नहीं करना चाहिए।
देखिए, काफ़ी अजीब चीज़ है, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि ये सरदार पटेल ने जो शुरू किया था कि आरएसएस का काम और सरकार का काम अलग है, दोनों एक साथ नहीं होना चाहिए। और आपको ये भी मालूम है कि ये सब करने के बाद नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार 10 साल से ये रूल को बदला नहीं, तो अब क्यों बदल रहे हैं? इसका मतलब क्या है कि सरकारी लोग को कुछ और लॉयल्टी के साथ काम करना है या सिर्फ देश के लिए काम करना है? कोई भी, मैं आरएसएस के बारे में ये सिर्फ कहूँगा कि एक संघ है, उनके खिलाफ लोग हैं, उनके साथ भी लोग हैं। सरकारी जो हमारे एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं सरकार के, उनकी जिम्मेदारी है सबके लिए काम करने के लिए, पूरे देश के लिए काम करने के लिए। कभी भी एक, अगर उनके जो भी इंक्लिनेशंस है, पॉलिटिकल इंक्लिनेशन, राजनीतिक जो है, वो तो दिखाना नहीं है, उसके बेसिस में काम नहीं करना है। लेकिन अगर आप अभी खुलेआम से आप मेंबर भी बन जाएं आरएसएस के, तो उसका मतलब क्या है? किस ऑब्जेक्टिविटी से आप आपकी काम करेंगे? इम्पार्शियलिटी को क्या हो गया अभी सरकार में? ये पूछने लायक बात है। इस चीज़ से
Unfortunate moment from the government side. No, the government is not learning any lesson from the people verdict. That is what is not only this issue. In every issue we can see that government is not learning any lesson from the people's verdict. Whether it is Kanwar Yatra, whether it is this order, everything is government is thinking that they have the power like earlier. They have totally mistaken. They will know it later.
देखिए, यही मैंने ट्वीट किया है कि पहले ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स, इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया सब खाकी का काम कर रहे थे, खाकी शॉर्ट्स पहनकर काम कर रहे थे, पर डिक्लेयर नहीं कर पा रहे थे। अब खुलेआम डिक्लेयर कर पाएंगे। पर देखिए, कितनी शर्मनाक बात है कि आज हमारे ब्यूरोक्रेट्स, जिनको गवर्नमेंट अफसर जो होते हैं, जिनको भारत माता के लिए काम करना चाहिए और हर सरकारों को ये प्रमोट करना चाहिए कि भारत माता के इंटरेस्ट को आगे रखें, अब वो अपने आइडियोलॉजिकल इंटरेस्ट को रखकर आगे बढ़ेंगे। ये शर्मनाक चीज़ है। इसलिए ये बदलाव लाया गया था सर्विसेज में कि कोई पॉलिटिकल एफिलिएशन नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई एसोसिएशन से एफिलिएशन नहीं होना चाहिए। द ओनली एफिलिएशन इज टू योर country. Unfortunately, BJP wants to change that.
So let us recap a bit. BJP's predecessors, Bharatiya Janata Sangh, was founded by the members of the RSS. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and L.K. Advani were loaned by RSS to Janata Sangh. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi was a Sangh Pracharak before joining Bharatiya Janata Party. The Janata Party coalition, the Janata Party, the amalgamation of multiple parties broke down over the issue of dual membership because members of the erstwhile Janata Sangh who had merged with Janata Party refused to sever allegiance to their parent organization. And it is for this reason the Morarji Bhai's government came down and Charan Singh became the Prime Minister for a short time. All the General Secretary's organization, whether at the level of the state or whether at the level of the centre, are drawn from the RSS. Full-time members. RSS campaigns for Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, what does RSS say about these issues? RSS says it's not a political organization and is devoted purely to cultural work. However, it does permit its members to join political parties. RSS has maintained that it doesn't engage in political activity and only participates in election campaigns to sensitize voters on cultural values and social problems and issues. Legally speaking, RSS is not a political party. RSS has number of organizations working under its umbrella and they range from education, labor, student politics like AVVP, schools, Hindu awareness like VHP, to tribal sector. Now, all of them somewhere they get touched by the government apparatus, they get touched by the civil society, and the osmosis takes place. So the question is, can BJP and RSS be viewed separately from one another? Would government employees who are part of the RSS not have ideological footprint and allegiance by extension to BJP? Does it create, and let me put this in all seriousness, does it create a space for a party state? And lastly, the question is, the political question on which I'll move my debate. Why has BJP decided to do away with this order now? Vajpayee did not do this, nor Modi in his 2 terms when he had absolute numbers. On this issue, I am joined by Rajiv Churi, political analyst, Ajit Kejha, senior journalist, and Brijesh Pandey, input editor of News 9 Live Connected TV. Brijesh, first to you. Why has the government decided to move now?
Well, if I go by the fact that the government had an absolute majority in the first 2 terms and it did not move or do any such thing, I think it is a course correction. It is a course correction by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and I would, based on my understanding of things, I would say that this course correction was necessitated from the fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party could not muster up absolute majority on its own. There were a lot of issues on the ground. The interview which was given by BJP party president and the resultant the fracas which we are witnessing in various states, the most important being Uttar Pradesh, it is very clear that what was perceived to be a very cohesive, powerful unit which was run by BJP and overseen by the RSS is suddenly in shambles. And this particular decision by the government allowing or say reversing the ban which was there 58 years ago, I would say is a course correction. It is reaching out to the parent ideologue RSS, and it's kind of sort of I would see it as a mending ways by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Mending ways by Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me go across to Mr. Tully. Mr. Tully, the first question, it is divided into 5 segments. So the first segment is, why has this decision been taken? Mr. Tully.
I think, thanks Karthike for having me. I think this BJP can only tell why they have taken this decision at this juncture. As far as RSS goes, I know that it was not affecting the growth of the RSS earlier, and it is not going to affect the growth of the RSS in the future also. The RSS Swayamsevaks, whether they were in government jobs, whether they were professionals, or whether they are into any private kind of jobs, they don't hesitate to come to RSS Shakha or show their allegiance to the RSS, even if the ban was put on the RSS per se. So I don't think that this decision was affecting any growth of the RSS earlier, and I don't expect it to fuel the growth of the RSS in coming days, because the government servants have been allowed to join the RSS. All the Swayamsevaks who are into government jobs or who were into the government jobs never shied away from coming to the Shakha or showing their allegiance, as I have earlier told. So as to why the government have taken this decision on this day, that is today or yesterday, I think only the government or the BJP can tell you about that. And as to what Brijesh was saying, mending the ways with the RSS and all those things, I don't think that matters at all today. And I don't think any reason of the BJP or RSS दोनों आपस में झगड़ा होने की जो बात, the differences that are being talked about in the media, I don't think that is true. The core agenda of the RSS, the Ram Mandir, Article 370, UCC, halfway the UCC, was all completed in last 10 years. Why would RSS or any Karyakarta of the RSS would be angry with the BJP or the government or the NDA government now? I don't have reasons to believe that there is the kind of differences which are being projected by the media.
Okay, fair enough. You are saying that it doesn't make a difference. One, whether the ban was here, whether the ban doesn't stay, it doesn't prevent any from joining and participating in the activities of the RSS. Ajit, to you.
Look, first of all, let's tell our viewers that RSS doesn't have a formal membership. Just participation in the Up-Shakha and the Shakha. And if you do it regularly and then believe in the RSS ideology, which is, fairly well known, then you become part of the RSS. You become a member of the RSS. But there is no formal filling of any forms or anything. But the interesting question is, why today? Why under Bajpayee ji, we had seen, most of us reported at that time, and we saw a lot of crisis between the government and the Sangh. In fact, many leaders of the Sangh would criticize Bajpayee ji openly, using very harsh language at times. But we never saw a move at that time to bring this about. Again, in the last 10 years, we never saw this under Modi ji when he had a full sort of majority. So obviously, the move right now is because of a certain crisis. And that crisis is out in the open, which, Brijesh hinted at. The fact that the Sangh leaders have openly criticized, saying that, there is an arrogance in the leadership. And that is why the BJP has done so badly in the elections in the Lok Sabha. Also in UP, the way the fight between Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, one saying the organization is more important than the government, the other, claiming something else. All that is out in the open, which was never in the open in the last 10 years. So obviously there is a crisis, and therefore the government has made this move. What I wanted to just add, that let's use the biggest icon of Modi ji, Sardar Patel, who in a letter to Jawaharlal Nehru in 1949, when he was creating the steel framework, he made this point, very well. He said, sort of accurately, he said, political considerations, either in its recruitment for the civil service or in its discipline and control, are reduced to the minimum. That is very important. He talked of neutrality, and in fact, later on, he said that the intrusion of politics in civil service is the first step towards the intrusion of corruption. Now, that is a warning that Sardar Patel did, who laid the framework for the civil service after India's, independence. And that, in a way, is, I think, being violated by this clause, other than its, the political fight between the BJP and Congress.
I think that's a very relevant point you have raised, Ajit. Independent bureaucracy, and you are saying that the clause is being violated. So that's one. A lot of people believe that, this violates the spirit of the Indian Constitution, for simple reason that, if this sort of an ideological osmosis will take place, it will have a corroding effect. But there's another issue to it. And this is something which I have noticed after not getting a full majority, and this is in this context, that Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders or the government has either issued statements or orders which directly consolidates to its hard Hindu constituencies. Either the order on the Kamadiyas, or the order on the RSS 1966, or Hemant Biswa Sarma talking about the population being overrun by, the minority. Why is this happening right now?
I think, Kartikeya, somehow there is a feeling within the party or the co-cadre that the BJP does not seem to be pursuing the path of absolute Hindutva with the vigor it was required, or with the vigor it was promised. And the result of 240 has rattled BJP as a party on many counts. And that is the reason why, if you see the way it has happened, what was given by the order which was given by SSP of Muzaffarnagar, and which was when it faced criticism, it looked like the government would withdraw. In came the Chief Minister and said that, boss, this is applicable all over Uttar Pradesh. From Muzaffarnagar to all over Uttar Pradesh. It looks like, and the way Hemant Biswa Sarma, you said that by 2040 minorities, thereby clearly meaning Muslims, will be the dominant population. It seems like, that they are doubling down on its core ideology, which is the hardcore Hindutva, and that is the reason why you see a spate of such decisions. What I would like to believe is that, the 10 seats bypoll which is going to take place in Uttar Pradesh, and the two state elections, be in the state of Maharashtra, Haryana, and then later on in Jharkhand. I think, these three elections are going to be one of the most defining elections a particular state assembly election can ever be.
Okay.
And that the BJP knows that if they lose, then the narrative will start gaining ground very quickly that the magic of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is getting winner by the day, and that is one risk which nobody wants to take, and that is the reason this doubling down on the hardcore.
Mr. Tuli, I have a question for you, and I must put this on record. That in 2018, I had the opportunity to ask this question to मोहन भागवत जी, और मैंने हिंदी में सवाल पूछा था उनसे कि अगर आप ये कहते हैं कि संघ और बीजेपी में फ़र्क है और अलग अलग हैं, तो ऐसा क्यों है कि केंद्र में और राज्यों में हर संगठन मंत्री संघ से ही क्यों होता है? तो उनका जवाब आया था मुस्कुरा के, क्योंकि एक ही सवाल था और उसमें कोई काउंटर क्वेश्चन नहीं था, एक चिट बनती थी, ब्लॉक्स में जा रहे थे, तो बोला कि जो हमसे मांगेगा उसको भी दे देंगे, अगर कोई दूसरी पार्टी मांगी तो भी दे देंगे. तो माई क्वेश्चन टू यू सर इज, मिस्टर टुली, दैट इफ देयर इज अ 6 डिग्री ऑफ सेपरेशन, देन व्हाई the most important position in context of organization comes from the RSS, which is Sangathan Mantri?
Same, my answer is also same. He added one more point into it, and that point was कोई और मांगेगा हम उसको भी देंगे, हमें ये लगना चाहिए कि वो अच्छा काम करे. अगर कोई भी संगठन अभी I'll give you example to it is that lot of this was also there. Karthikeya, I was present in that program when that is why
we all were present there.
I was also there.
That is why I had to say this, that I as a journalist had the opportunity to ask the question, and privileged enough that the question was taken and answered back, because there were a number of questions and this specific question was picked up. So I always ask this कि अगर इतना फर्क है तो फिर इतनी समानता क्यों है कि हर इतने पॉलिटिकल डिसीजन मेकिंग के बीच में संघ का एक वरिष्ठ व्यक्ति होता है?
Somehow I was part of the team that organized that program. So as you are saying, that number of questions, there were more than 300 questions, and each and every question was answered in that program. So it is, BJP from its inception have asked from the people, earlier incarnation of Janasangh also, as you know, for your viewers review, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee came to then chief of the RSS, Madhav Sadashiv Rao Golwalkar, that I want to form a political party, I need your support. So from the day one, people were loaned to the BJP, Janasangh earlier, and then the BJP. And this has happened, this is happening. And this is happening because the ideology or the agenda that RSS is pursuing, we find that people working in the BJP are close to or are following that ideology and the agenda. Like they have Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Sant Samaj and Sangh raised the issue of Ram Mandir. In 1989, BJP put it into their manifesto. Article 370 was it should go is in the BJP's manifesto and agenda from the day one. In fact, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee lost his life protecting the sovereignty of the country and protesting against the Article 370. So it is human nature. आप किसके घर जाएंगे कार्तिकेय, जो आपको गाली निकालता है उसके घर में या जो आपका स्वागत करता है? और I know you being into journalism for such a long time, I would request you to kindly talk to Congress. If they want to revive the party, they need to have people from the RSS. And if they come asking for the, Sangathan Mantri,
Rajesh, is the question for you,
I don't have
will be happy to loan them. RSS will be happy to loan them people from.
But I know Rajiv Bhai for a long time.
I will look. I'll give you a few more examples. When Shrimati Indira Gandhi, 1962 का जो वॉर हुआ था, जवाहरलाल नेहरू देश के प्रधानमंत्री थे, RSS took charge of the traffic in Delhi. 1963, RSS was invited to participate.
Can I ask you a straight question? Tuli sahab, I want to ask you a straight question. एक सवाल, आप बोलिएगा. और फिर ये सवाल, I will take this to your critic says that this raises the specter of creation of a party state.
Okay, so are the government employees banned from taking membership of a left labor organization or INTUC or ATUC or C2 or SFI or anything? I mean, all these organizations, are they banned from taking membership of these organizations? I'm just asking. You three senior journalists are there on the panel. You can just, answer me.
These
that.
are trade unions, sir.
Sir,
these are, see, Tuli sir, these are trade unions. Even ABVP is it's in the student wing. Akhil Bharati Mazdoor Sangh, it is also part of the trade unions. Most of them, there is a difference between RSS and these organizations you have listed. There is a difference between RSS has 32 organizations from education, tribal affairs, schools, student politics. You can just go on. It takes care of every aspect of the society.
There is also, Kartikeya,
there's a difference. But you can't compare a flat with a bungalow.
No, but there is also a thing that I know Rajiv Bhai will disagree, but the fact of the matter is that the difference between BJP and RSS is, and the argument which is put forward is too simplistic. When you have a general secretary organization being one of the most powerful position within the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in every single state unit, it is basically like being the nuts and bolts. You are controlling the nuts and bolts of the party, and then the overall arcing RSS is that it is looking, and the second you deviate from the stated ideology, either the Sangh Chalak in one of his addresses, which is there, in program, or somebody senior enough says a line which is being perceived as line, that this is the line we should follow. There is no reason for it's in a matter of saying, you say that Congress never asks us to do it, but I think the difference between RSS and BJP is not there.
Ajit, is there
RSS controls the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Ajit, am I audible? Do you think that the influence of Bharatiya Janata Party is only, influence of RSS is limited to ideological construct, or does the influence goes down to organizational system also?
See, before Modi ji became Prime Minister, when Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister, I used to report on the BJP. I would agree that RSS was largely a cultural organization, and its influence on the government was rather limited. Although Vajpayee ji accepted that he was a pracharak, but after Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah came in this new sort of last 10 years, what happened is that the RSS members have been used during elections, right? All the time. I think the success of the BJP in many ways is actually because of the RSS, and because of their discipline, because of the fact that they know the ground much better than many of the BJP leaders. And therefore, in fact, I even talked to Amit Shah ji, and I asked him this question, and he laughed it away. But the truth is that the BJP has very successfully used the Sangh, the various organizations of the Sangh during elections. And as I said, that's the great success of the organization. The whole debate rests on a different principle. Should the government employees, should the civil service be politicized? Should it stay away from it? Should it be neutral? Otherwise, remember, the ban was not only on joining the RSS, it was also on joining the Jamaat Islami. This opens a Pandora box. In the future, another government might decide to do that. Now, I would criticize that as well. The point is that government servants have to be neutral. They have to work on basic principles that, Sardar Patel laid out: pure merit, pure neutrality, no taking sides, and complete professionalism. And that is what was supposed to be the steel framework of India. This entire move is going to basically politicize the bureaucracy, which in the future, as we'll see, as it unfolds, if it takes place, is going to be a strain on the entire neutrality of Indian bureaucracy. So I think this is a move which is, and the other thing is very puzzling to me, that one reason why the BJP did not do well in this election, and I am not saying that, the BJP themselves are saying, if you look at the reasons given in Uttar Pradesh, for example, was that the impression that the BJP is tinkering with the constitution, that the BJP, if they came to power, would change the constitution. All these moves that we are talking about in some way tinkers with the very principles of Indian constitution, the very spirit of the constitution. Why? Because the RSS is not a body which came out of the Indian constitution, right? It was, the Sangh was started in 1925. It believes in Akhand Bharat. It believes in Mother India. It believes in sort of, sort of the Hindu Sanatan Dharma, Arya Samaj. So that cannot be the principles of the constitution. You can't have bureaucrats running India on those principles. It hits out at the basic framework of the Indian constitution.
Okay. I think that point has been made very strongly. I would like Mr. Tully to respond to it. Sir, you have 2 minutes before I throw to other political bites that have come.
No, Kartikeya, I have not been able to understand what is the objection with Akhand Bharat, or what is the objection with the oneself getting associating himself with the basic thought of the nation, basic thought of this land. What is the objection? I mean, I have not been able to understand the why this objection has been raised. Now, once the constitution has been made in and implemented in our country, so everybody, every person living on this land have to be, have to abide by it. And if you see the changes in the constitution, या जो narrative इस election में चला कि constitution बदल देंगे, so most of the changes that have happened in the constitution have happened by have been done by the Congress. Even the preamble of the constitution, which was termed as the soul of the constitution, have been changed, and that too without consulting any other political party, rather putting all the political leaders behind the bar. So how does, and this 10 years of the Modi government and the 5-6 years of the earlier regime of NDA, original NDA 1 of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, you show me one.
So you are saying that it is not going to have any impact. You are saying it's not going to have any impact on the iron framework of the bureaucracy?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because the Indian bureaucracy is made of a different metal altogether. I don't think it is going to change the basic framework or the iron framework of it. And even if, I mean, if somebody is supportive, prior to Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi coming into at the helms of affair of Congress have also took, also have approached RSS on so many issues, like the conversion, Meenakshi Puram, and then the North East.
Today I would like to keep the discussion on bureaucracy. Meenakshi Puram itself is a different discussion. It's a different tangent. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 1980s, the sort of a reversal of the rethink which happened within the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's a different chapter for a debate. But I would say that principally, with the budget session on, this is one issue on which we will witness a lot of sparring in the House. Kavaria issue has been handled by the Supreme Court of India. So there is no sparring, it's a Supreme Court order, the stay is there. But this issue, I'm sure, will witness a lot of sparring in the House. A lot of state governments have done away with. There was a judgment of the Punjab High Court in which a gentleman also got a relief. It's on record. He was dismissed from the Government of India on the account that, for his affiliations with RSS, he was reinstated. It was published in newspapers. But the fact that this has been done at a national level, I would say that this tells us that there is a doubling down which has happened post Lok Sabha elections. What sort of a rethink is happening entirely depends within the thinking of Bharatiya Janata Party. But the questions will be there, whether this will lead to a bureaucracy which is influenced, or a bureaucracy which has an influence? So this is all on this and on point number one. It's time for a short break. We'll be back with more.
This calls into question the neutrality of the bureaucracy itself. I mean, a serving government functionary, government servant cannot be a member of any political organization, and to portray the RSS as anything but a political organization will be completely erroneous, and there was a reason why the membership of that organization was banned. The government must explain why they rescinded that ban right now.
कि जब सांप्रदायिक राजनीति खत्म होने लगती है तो आखिरी समय सांप्रदायिक राजनीति को जिंदा रखने के लिए, और ये तो बड़े सेंसिटिव चीज है कि अगर अधिकारी सेंसिटिव पोस्ट पर जाएगा और उसका व्यवहार आचरण किसी संस्था से या पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के माध्यम से उसका किया जाएगा, वो तो हम उत्तर प्रदेश में देख ही रहे हैं, हर दिन देख रहे हैं।